Hello, everyone. Welcome back to. I'm running out of new jokes. I did it without even trying. There we are. Minor annoying thing about this game: you can't save whenever the hell you want, which is glaring oversight in a portable game. I would like to point out. The star coins in this one actually have a purpose in that whenever you use them to open up a path, the game gives you an option to save. This is like the one design element of the game that I think is just really bad because I don't know if this is going to be a controversial opinion or not, but you should be able to save almost at any point if you're playing a portable game. What if you need to get off the bus or you're done taking a poop?
Even games in genres that have, like a reason to have save points be limited, like an RPG where you don't necessarily want to let your player save at any point in the middle of a dungeon because that would make things too easy. They usually have a quick save function that you can use like to save the game once and then quit the game once, and yeah, it'll delete your save when you restart the game later, but at least you have a save that you can, make. I think
the idea is that if you need to stop, you just close your DS and put it in your pocket.
Okay, here's the thing. That is true, but when you're playing this game specifically, whenever you close the game, Mario shouts out of the speakers, "Bye-bye!" And when you open the game back up, he's going like, "Here we go!" So it's like, if you're playing the game at 11 o'clock at night and you're supposed to be sleeping and your mom is walking by...
Turn the volume slider down.
I think he still shouts at you even if the volume's all the way off.
Ted, what are you doing? Masturbating, Mom.
Yippee!
Oh, as long as you're not playing New Super Mario Brothers.
Listen, I have when I was in high school, I stayed up till 3 a.m. on school nights playing Ace Attorney in my bed more times than I can count. I wish I could still do that to this day, but I am old now and I would die.
I did it. Sure, I'll do case 1 of Great Ace Attorney. It's midnight. Wait, finish the case. It's 6 o'clock in the morning. What the fuck?
I wish that I could have stayed up playing video games when I was in school, but I didn't have my own bedroom. I had to share. Unfortunately, I did not have that luxury.
Yeah,
I wish I had that luxury because it would at least have given me something fulfilling to fill my time with while I was doing just as badly at school as I actually did. So,
I mean, yeah, I'm so spoiled nowadays. I listen to YouTube videos to help me go to sleep, and I'm like, how did I fall asleep as a teenager? Like just staring at the ceiling, doing nothing. Man, what savages we were.
It depends, because when I was younger, I used to have the TV on when going to sleep.
Oh no, I couldn't.
But now the light actively distracts me.
Yeah,
and I can't have it on.
Yeah, I'll put on something on YouTube and then close the cover on my tablet.
I'll tell you
in
what,
order to not let the light through.
I'll tell you what, it's not even like the light distracting you. Certain colors of light actually actively.
Oh yeah. I know about like blue lights actually being really bad for you, like in a dark room.
Yeah.
But back then I didn't know that.
Well, they also stimulate your brain in a way that keeps you awake. So warmer lights are better.
I think it's
so I should sleep in a fire pit.
I think it's because the blue light looks like the sky, so it makes our brain fucked up. Because seeing that light does hormone things to keep us awake, if I remember correctly.
The light's doing hormone things again.
I'm not a scientist. I would like to point out. Science advice from BrainScratch Commentaries shouldn't just be taken with a grain of salt. You should take the whole shaker.
Yeah, the S and BSC stands for scientist.
What I do when I'm trying
Brain Scientist Commentaries, that's like an actual scientist podcast channel where they talk about literal brain surgery. Hello, we're going to talk about the vagus nerve today.
And 1 hour after this, the Psychonauts playthrough. Okay,
that's the game we still need to do.
Yes.
Oh yeah, Psychonauts 2 is out, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
I've heard great things. Yeah. Actually.
Oh, that's good. It's always nice when these games that people have been waiting 15 years for actually end up being good.
Yeah.
When they come out.
Shenmue.
Get that checked out.
But man, Shenmue's funny because I remember I was on a Discord call not too long ago, and one of my friends, Joey, was playing Shenmue for the first time, and I'm just looking at it, and I'm like, was this ever good?
It was.
Because it doesn't...
As a prototype Yakuza, yes.
Yeah, I was going to say it was Yakuza before Yakuza.
You know, people overemphasize the connection between Shenmue and Yakuza a lot because, like, they do some similar things, kind of, a little, but they're also
Well,
very,
if you walk
very
on the ground
different.
like characters do in Yakuza series, it's clearly a Yakuza game.
I mean, the game is set in Japan, and Yakuza is also set in Japan.
Yeah, so
No,
Yakuza
what
Persona.
Yakuza like is ripping off Persona 5 so bad.
Yes,
What
yes,
Shenmue is fundamentally is an adventure game, just in a different style than PCs were doing them at the time. So
Star Fox is such a flight simulator ripoff.
no, when I say an adventure game, I mean an adventure game in the traditional sense of the word,
Like King's Quest. Yeah.
Yeah, like that. It's that kind of game. It's just in a different style than PCs used to do it. It's also very technically impressive because it's an arcade game engine on a console, but that's a different matter entirely.
Yeah, the game is like the Virtua Fighter engine or something like that, if I remember correctly.
Something like that. There's some good videos on the technicals, but like I've played Shenmue 1 and 2 because I bought the remasters, and I had fun with them. I never put in enough time to actually finish them, but I had fun with them. They're very relaxing games to play. I played some of Shenmue 3 and I could immediately tell why people weren't quite so on board with it, because it's like this awkward combination of the developer like outright refusing to evolve the stuff, to evolve the gameplay, and also like dumbing down some of the stuff that the game was already doing.
I also remember hearing a lot of people being frustrated at the story because it was effectively a filler episode.
It basically ended on another cliffhanger.
Yeah,
that nothing.
It's kind of a weird middle episode where it does continue off from where 2 ended, but it doesn't really go anywhere.
Hey, Lewis, do you know where to find sailors?
The docks
Yeah.
would probably be a good bet.
I'm sorry. It's just one of those things where, what's the main character's name in Shenmue?
Rio.
He's just, it's like, where can I find sailors?
Well, that's the thing. Whenever you talk to an NPC in Shenmue, you're going to ask that NPC about the current thing that your character is looking for, whether it's the car that the murderer departed in, or where you can find Chinese people, or whatever it is you're looking for at that particular point in the game. So every question is a meme, because every question is a question you're going to ask 200 times and get an I don't know answer from everyone until you find the one or two
I
people
wonder where I can find some sailors, and it's just Rio with the big thinking emoji.
Yeah, then the village people just pop up and go, in the Navy.
But like Shenmue 3 does start off where Shenmue 2 left off, you know, with you finally linked up with Dream Girl, you know, so you're following her to her home village, and you're trying to continue your quest from there. But it's also kind of in that same weird space that Shenmue 1 was at, where you're sort of stuck in these, like, I think it's 2 sort of contained locations, and most of your progress is just on trying to figure out where you should go from here, and then trying to figure out how to get there. And then I think you encounter I haven't gotten far enough in to know this. I think you encounter the murderer. What's his name? Mr. Stereotypical Chinese martial artist guy.
That's a really long name.
Yeah, it is. I think you encounter him, but like nothing really gets resolved, so it feels like the game ends on a mid-game encounter, essentially.
Yeah. So anyway, the point of the matter is that you can't find a Sonic the Fighter's model of Knuckles in Shenmue 3. Worst game ever, 0 out of 10.
Yeah, it is kind of weird that a lot of the like old Sega models are just not there anymore.
Yeah, there's like literal gotcha machine in Shenmue 1, I think.
Yeah. Like there's more than one. There's different ones at different stores throughout the little town that you play the game in. So,
cool.
There's also like the best arcade game ever, QTE. So
it's actually called QTE.
Yes, it basically exists to be a tutorial for QuickTime events, because QuickTime events were new. Shenmue was like the game that invented them.
How
So,
hard can it be to do QuickTime events? Like, the thing that's frustrating about QuickTime events isn't that you don't know how to do them, it's that they pop up out of nowhere and surprise you. Like, if you're doing a QuickTime event and the giant B button appears on screen, I wonder what I should do.
I mean, could we consider the first QTEs games like, I don't know, the one like the FMV ones, like on Sega CD, where it's just, you know, like almost like Dragon's Lair-y?
Yeah,
In a
Dragon's
sense.
Lair is a QTE game, pretty much.
yeah, but like
I heard dragons.
the
Lair.
arcade game in Shenmue exists so that you can train yourself to react to the button prompts as soon as you see them. Which is important because before you actually like do a real fight with the game's actual fighting mechanics, you're going to do stuff like a freaking brawl scene in a bar where you have to QuickTime event your way through the fight.
Okay, controversial opinion here. Punch-Out is a QTE game.
No, it's not.
No, it's
No, not at all.
no.
Okay,
I mean,
fine. I knew that wasn't.
that was.
I mean,
that-
think
that
about it.
was-
It's you just you memorize what you have to do.
You're
and
reacting to an opponent. You're not reacting to a
Yeah,
button prompt. You're
it's
reacting
like
to an
it's
opponent.
not like you. It's not like you can't punch if the opponent isn't doing the thing that lets you punch.
You do ultimately have agency over the situation in Punch-Out.
Yeah.
Whereas QTEs, you're just at the beholden of whatever button, you know, prompts
being
it on
asked to
screen.
press. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Shenmue has a fighting system. It's a good fighting system, or it was before Shenmue 3 butchered it. But like it also has QTE fighting scenes, and those are what you experience first for some reason. So
I think that they were just trying to sell people on the like grandeur of the cutscenes. And
yeah, but I mean, like, before you even get to that point, and you're probably going to do this first because at the beginning of the game you just have to wander around town with a day-night cycle going by. But like, before you even get to the QTE fighting scenes, you can go to this parking lot, right? And when you go to the parking lot, Ryu just goes into combat mode, and you can practice your moves. So they encourage you to practice your moves long before you get into an actual fight, and there's not very much fighting in Shenmue 1. And you're buying all these special moves from like the stores and stuff so that you can learn how to do those. But then they do the QuickTime event, and it's like, wow, this really is an old game. They had no idea how to pace their game design. I guess the point that I'm trying to make is that Shenmue is fundamentally a really good and really interesting game, but it's also a very weirdly designed one. That I'm not really like at times I'm not really sure what they were going for with.
Well, I know that you're drawing ire over the comparison between Shenmue and Yakuza.
Yeah, but
nowadays,
Yakuza
but-
is a very formulaic game.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. But
they play really nothing alike. It's just the
Yeah.
setting and some aspects of the story that are similar. Like, if you've even seen a little bit of Yakuza gameplay, you'll know that it's a much more freeform kind of game. You have a lot more freedom, and even like the parts that are scripted, like the main story beats, don't really have the same sort of feel. Like
when Yakuza goes into like an action stage, it shifts into a mode that is very reminiscent of Streets of Rage, like straightforward brawler stages, weapons that you can pick up off the floor and beat people over the head with, and so on and so forth.
I know it's one of those where I'll know for sure if I ever play it myself, but Shenmue just never clicked.
Again, I think
There
a
was
lot of it
never
is
any interest.
the matter of it was a game for the time. The game came out like 1999.
Yeah.
Did it came out? It was it was trying to do things that were new for 1999, and as such, it's dated more than a lot of games from 1989 feel because of that.
Yeah, 1989
Well-
physically, yes.
The other thing though is that Shenmue is also trying to do this kind of like virtual life simulator kind of thing where, yeah, you have a goal, there's a plot to follow, but the actual game itself is essentially about a guy living his life. It's a very interesting life in which he's pursuing a guy who killed his father and traveling from place to place, but you're living day by day, working jobs, buying stuff at stores, and when you go to buy stuff at stores, you actually like look at the shelf and pick up the item off the shelf and buy the thing from the store. You know, it's not just an item on a list like it would be in an RPG or something. You're opening drawers, examining things, that kind of thing. It's meant to feel very virtual reality in a sense, which is something that games haven't really tried to do to Shenmue's extent before or
Well, because
since.
real life sucks.
Well, yeah, I mean, you spend a lot of Shenmue 1 driving a forklift around just to earn money enough to make it to the next
He
game.
tried to kill us with a forklift.
That's your ultimate end goal in Shenmue 1. Work at the forklift to earn enough money so that you can buy the ship that takes you to Shenmue 2. Buy the ship ticket that takes you to Shenmue 2. But,
Yeah, I mean, I think it's like the idea of, oh, you're going to look at the thing on the shelf and then take it to the guy up front to buy it. Like, that's all interesting to talk about, but it's one of those things that...
Well, to Shenmue's credit, they managed to pull it off in a way that's, like, briskly paced enough that it's a satisfying gameplay execution, too. It's just very... immersive is the direction that they're trying to go. Why are we talking about this in a Mario game?
Because
it's a Mario game.
Do you know what channel we're on? this is...
I have to say, if we're gonna go back on topic, I just want to say this: Monty Mole had a clean shot in the beginning of this fight, but decided to just
didn't take
bonk
it.
Luigi in the ass.
He's
to
secretly...
initiate the fight.
No, look, he's secretly a mole planted by the Mushroom Kingdom.
So,
So he's only pretending to fight you right now. But Luigi doesn't know that, so we just
with
killed
live
his ass.
ammunition.
Yeah,
Yes.
throwing bombs at me, running me over with a tank.
Dude,
Don't worry, they're
he,
just
he's
practice.
got to be convincing to keep his cover, but you know, he never
It's a prank, bro.
tries too hard to hit you.
Well, he's like the only boss in the game to like actually land a hit on me, so you know.
Well, that's just to make it more convincing. You let him get a hit.
Okay, that's
to help
not
him keep his
entirely
cover.
true. The Mummy Pokey in World 2 is a bitch to fight with the mini mushroom because you have to do that in order to unlock the I think it's World 4 in order. No, World 3. No, World 4. I don't remember. He's annoying with the mini mushroom. All right, jeez, leave me alone.
Sure. You think Monty is a Shenmue or Yakuza fan?
He's very slow-paced, meticulous, probably Shenmue.